All right, in this video, I'll be sharing with you about the Godox ML60 bi-color light. And if you follow the channel, you might remember I reviewed the Godox ML60 a few months ago. That was a daylight only light. This one is a bi-color version of that light. So there are a lot of similarities between these two lights, but I'm gonna go over it thoroughly either way, just so that we can understand what it's all about and maybe if it's a good fit for you. And just so you know, the light was sent to me from pergear.com, but all the opinions are my own. At the making of this video, the light goes for about $299 US, and you will get the light, a reflector dish, a battery case, a power brick, a handle, AC power cables and DC power cables, an adapter holder, and a carrying case for everything to be kept inside. Additionally, there are some accessories you can purchase for this light that make it a lot more versatile and easy to use. One of them being the remote, which would be the RCA6 remote from Godox. Another handy accessory would be the Bowens mount adapter, allowing you to use this light with any of your Bowens mount accessories. And lastly, there is a small octagon-shaped soft box for this light that fits the proprietary mount that this light has, since it's not a Bowens mount light. All of these things would have to be purchased separately, and I highly recommend doing it. I've purchased some of them myself, and they are so wonderful to work with. They're perfect for this light, and as we talk more about this light, I think you'll see why. So the next thing we'll cover are the features that this light has to offer. So this ML60 bicolor light is about as big as a can of sauce and weighs 1.70 pounds. This is a 60-watt light that is dimmable from 0 to 100% and has a Kelvin temperature range of 2800 Kelvin to 6500 Kelvin. Not only does this light have ultra-silent fans, but comes with the ability to turn those fans on or off. This light also comes with a few pre-programmed special effects such as lightning, fire, paparazzi, and so on. The ML60 is designed to be put on a light stand, but also to be handheld so that it's much more portable. The Godox ML60 has a proprietary Godox mount, which does not fit Bowens mount accessories. However, it does have an umbrella mount so that you have a diffusing source option. There are 3 ways to control the ML60. You can use the dials on the back of the light, or you can use the remote that you purchase separately, or you can now use this light with the new Godox app, since it does have Bluetooth capabilities. And lastly, the light has the ability to be run off of NPF style batteries. The battery plate can be attached to the light handle or can be clipped onto the operator's belt. Additionally, the battery plate does indicate how much battery life you have left. There's also a small leg on the bottom of the battery plate that allows you to take this handheld light and place it on a flat surface without falling over. Next up, let's quickly talk about build quality. I have had no complaints about this. It is built solidly, made out of aluminum, and hardly any plastic pieces or parts. Everything is firm, the yoke is nice and strong, and it holds perfectly anything and everything you put on it. Even the adapter for this light is a very strong hold and holds a really big softbox, so I have no concerns about the build quality. And it is worth mentioning the build quality of the case that it comes in. It's actually a really nice case. It holds up really well, but my favorite part is that you can actually take all the accessories and fit them inside of this case along with the light. There's a pouch on the outside for the remote. The top has a great spot to put the softbox, even a light stand. Strap those down, and then the adapter can also fit inside of this bag. It's like they thought of everything for this light. A quick note about the ease of use with this light. Using the menu system on the back of the light or for the remote or app are relatively simple. I wasn't confused in finding any of the items in the menu, and it was pretty easy to navigate. The only time-consuming part of this light is setting it up for the first time. Whether it's in your studio or on location, it will take 2 to 4 minutes to set up this light, and I do think that's worth noting. Next, let's talk about the most important part of any light, and that is the fan noise and the heat. Now, as I mentioned before, the fans can be turned on and off, and this can only be done from the back of the light, not from the remote and not from the app. And once you've turned the fans off, they will not come back on until you turn that back on. So if you turn the light off and walk away, then come back and turn it on, those fans won't just kick back on automatically. You would have to go and tell it to turn those fans back on. For me, this is a feature I really like because I've had other lights that automatically kick the fan on, and that's actually really annoying when you really want the fan off for absolute silence. And speaking of silence, these are actually ultra silent fans. I keep the fan on at all times because you can't even hear the fan noise. I have to stick my ear literally onto the light to try to hear the fans, and they're so quiet. It's literally what I would call a whisper silent fan. So if you're at all concerned about fan noise, you can trust me when I say they make absolutely no noise. But if you are concerned, you can turn them off. Just know if you turn the fans off, you'll be limited to 50% as your maximum output. The reason why it's limited to 50% when the fans are off is to make sure the light does not overheat and damage itself. This does not mean the light has heat issues. I've never touched this light and felt it hot, never mind even remotely warm. So I did some tests to see how accurate this light was at different Kelvin temperatures, but also to see how bright it was at those Kelvin temperatures, and just to see how the CRI value was on this light. Here's a look at those results. Now, this light does come with some special effects. They are pre-programmed into the light. You can control them from the light or from the app. There's not much control or customization over these effects. I do really wish Godox would look at refreshing the special effects, making them more customizable, but I would say they're at best decent. I wouldn't call them the most usable special effects, but they're not the worst I've ever seen. So the best part, how can you use this light? How have I used it? And what are my final recommendations and thoughts? And I will say, I've actually been using 2 ML60 bicolors for the entire video. One has been the key light at 5600 Kelvin, and the second one has been the back and rim light around 3800 Kelvin. That one's at 2% power, and the key light is at 50% power, going through a giant dome of diffusion with a grid on it. Like any classic video light out there, you can use this light in a variety of situations. You can use it as a key light, you can use it as a backlight, a hair light, you can bounce it, you can gel it so that you got color with it if you want to. You can do quite a variety of things with it. And the fact that this is bicolor means that it already comes with the ability to be a bunch of different colors. So that brings me to my thoughts and recommendation. Personally, this is my all-time favorite light. I've yet to find one that replaces this as my favorite light. I keep the ML60s set up in my studio all the time. I use them for thumbnail images, I use them for product video shots, I use them in quick interview style stuff because sometimes you need something with you that's good quality, can get the job done, but doesn't take up a ton of weight and space. And that is where this light shines. Not only is it handheld portable, but it can be on a light stand. And then it being battery powered is just an extra perk that I don't actually use very often, but when I need to use it, it's awesome. And speaking of being used on batteries, that rim light has been on batteries the whole time, while the key light has been plugged into power. So in the end, I absolutely and wholeheartedly recommend this light if you want something that's super easy, quick, portable, accurate, and bicolor. Now at this point you might be thinking, Heather, there are so many lights that Godox has and other people have, how am I supposed to know what to get? Well, I have some comparisons coming out in the coming weeks between Godox lights, other lights, and then also just helping answer the question of which light do you actually need. So subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, so that way you don't miss out on getting those questions answered. And if you want some questions answered before then, I have plenty of light reviews and comparisons on this channel already. So go and binge the channel. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I will definitely answer them as best as I possibly can. And with that, I will see you in the next video.